Good morning, teacher leaders. I'd like to welcome you back to the 2017-18 school year. Hope you had a great summer and had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with your family and enjoying your time away from the building. The purpose of this presentation is to honor your time off, allow for some listening, processing, and providing some reflection time before you meet with your peers, and also as we continue to streamline our work, finding ways to utilize technology to make your work more efficient.
The focus of our work this year will be based on our district improvement plan. So you'll see in the middle of the page there an image that is our plan on a page. You may have seen your building's plan on a page. It should look similar. So during our teacher leader time, we're going to kind of use our new district vision statement as a way to think about what we could do to bring that to life. And hopefully to bring that to life, we've got a list of initiatives that feel important to us as well as ways to measure our success. So our time together this year, we're going to look at that district vision statement, implement our district and building priorities, and then focus on our goals. I think most of you have seen these goals. We looked at them last May, and you gave me a little bit of feedback on wording of them and whatnot. So looking through these will help guide our work. So in September, we'll spend a little bit of time talking about that. The meeting's not a whole lot different than what we've done in the past. We'll send out an agenda or a reminder. You gotta make the agenda. We'll send out the reminder to you guys, and then the agendas are developed by the team and emailed to pertinent members of the team, and then saved to the W drive. I think you all know where your folders are to do that. Teams should all take minutes. We do review those just to kind of make sure we're supporting your work as best we can. The other thing I want to make sure everybody remembers is to sign in at all teacher leader meetings. I do keep track of those in a spreadsheet, and I talk to your building leaders about making sure they're touching base with you on the work that you're doing, and make sure you're able to attend all meetings. I know that gets tough because some of you have other obligations, Schedule B, childcare, and whatnot. So if you have extenuating circumstances for one or two meetings, make sure you talk to your principal, but really the expectation is that everybody will be there because we build on the work from meeting to meeting.
As Jessica mentioned in the previous slides, a lot of the process throughout teacher leader will be the same. So for example, with the logistics, meetings are still on Wednesdays for tech leaders, and then on Thursdays for our teacher leaders. The work that we normally would be doing at the first meeting will be done in September, and this will be a chance where you can sit down with your team members, look at the schedule, and start talking about some of the directions that your group wants to follow as we move forward for this year. Continuing with the logistics, just to clarify the dates because there has been confusion in the past, the dates have been, you can see them on the screen. They are the Wednesdays, and again, as Jessica mentioned in previous slides, if there is a conflict due to scheduling, please communicate with your building principal so your building principal can represent your building, and or you can send somebody else to support the work. For K6, here are some of the pieces you can bring to the meeting and be ready to discuss with your group. Please reach out to your building principal and get your plan on the page. This probably was discussed or should have been discussed at your BLTs, but please bring that copy. We'll look at that copy from your building, look at your district plan on the page that we will provide, and then the reflections that you had an opportunity to document last year and talk about the work for this year. As we identify the work by grade levels, we'll also discuss what resources will you need to support that work. For example, do you need an instructional coach to support through facilitation? Would you like an instructional coach to provide some pull-out time? So please start thinking about the resources you need to support that work. You will also not need to develop a agenda for the September meeting. At the September meeting is when agendas will be developed. And finally, as we move forward with trying to build continuity across our district, you'll see there have been 3 dates identified that you will be working with your grade levels across the building. For example, Horizon would be hosting possibly all of the first grade teachers on November 1st, and again, you will have some time with your teacher leader meeting prior to that date to prep, seek out resources within the district and possibly outside the district, for example, the ISD.
The 7-12 team, secondary team, similar setup as next year as far as we will meet together for a portion of our time. Looking at the feedback you guys gave last April and May, there were a couple comments that, I really wish this time together could be more easily applied to my work as a department chair or on Wednesday morning. So feeling a connection between our teacher leader time and the expectations in your building for the work that you're doing. So one of the things I'd like to do at the September meeting, our kickoff meeting, would be to analyze the goals for your department work. Like what are the main areas of focus you have with your department this year? And then after identifying those goals, we'll talk about what do we need to be able to do to achieve those goals. So skills, content knowledge, what resources, and from there we'll to develop together the scope and sequence of our time this year. So knowing after September we have 5 more meetings together, what could be the focus of each meeting to help us get better at what we need to do. We can talk about what resources you need, how the instructional coaches can support. I know some of you have attended FAME and Adaptive Schools training. We can talk about if that'd be helpful for more people to attend. We will use Got Data Now What in pieces to support the development of high-functioning groups. You might have seen that on the calendar earlier, that will be a focus for us. So it's not just talking about what you're going to do with your departments, but how. How can we facilitate those conversations to make our time together productive as departments? So if you have a copy of Got Data Now What, please bring it, and I can kind of get a count for how many we need or how many copies of certain chapters I might need to make. Technology, this is for the Tech Schedule B leaders. We are continuing our shift towards instructional leadership. So basically this year will look like you're attending your building's leadership team meetings. For our first tech meeting, you'll want to bring your building plan on a page, so you'll want to see your principal to get a copy of that, as well as any ideas you have, bring any ideas you have for a book study for us to focus on for the year. On the next slide, I'll show all of you a website that is being developed to help teachers access support in regards to technology. And then our tech leaders, you can always add information or updates to that tech site. So we are still working on, and you may attend the session August 21st about this, run by the tech department, our new district website that will also include space for teachers to have their own teacher website. And we're all going to get new phones at some point too. That'll be more information coming on that. And then there is the new tech site for all staff to access information regarding commonly used tech. I think what I would probably do is just send this link live to you guys. I need to make sure that everyone can access it easily. But just know that entire staff will have access to this site, and tech teacher leaders will be adding to it and directing people to it as a way to help you know what to do when your tech isn't doing what it should be. So thanks for listening. We hope that you're having a great last week of school, last week before school. I'm already in school, so it doesn't really count. And we'll see you soon. Please call us, email us if you have any questions. We'll see you soon.